What are we about to do right now? We are going to look at Sia's new movie called Music and why it was so terrible that she wound up deleting her Twitter. I've wanted to talk about this for a while. I also wanted to wait until the film came out, not so that I could watch it, but just so that I could confirm a few things. And unfortunately, they've all been confirmed. First of all, who is Sia? Sia, of course, is the superstar singer known for her songs like Chandelier, Elastic Heart, etc. She's currently found herself in some hot water with the disability community, specifically autistic people, because she released a film called Music, and everything went downhill from there. But before we get into that, let's get into today's comment shout out from my last video. There is a special announcement at the end of this video about my YouTube's figure. Anyway, a quick word. Today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. If you're like me, you enjoy the aesthetic of cooking, the fresh ingredients, the amazing recipes, the balance of fresh fruits, meats, and vegetables. But if you're too much like me, you hate literally everything else about cooking, like having to find all of that stuff yourself, or potentially running out of ingredients and having to make a quick store trip, or planning the meals in the first place. And that's where HelloFresh comes in. They deliver everything right to your door. In packaging that's surprisingly easy to recycle. You can choose how much food you get from week to week or skip weeks altogether. And you can also get options for kids, vegetarians, low-calorie meals, anything you need. And as for the taste, yes, I made this, and yes, it's as good as it looks. HelloFresh has me out here feeling talented. Anyway, the meals are already affordable, but you can go to HelloFresh.com and use my code D'Angelo10 for 10 free meals across 4 boxes. And free shipping, saving time and eating better. I can't think of a more perfect combo. So go to HelloFresh.com and use code D'Angelo10 today. Now let's hop into the video. The main problem people have with this is that the actress playing the autistic character, Maddie Ziegler, is not at all autistic, nor is she, to my understanding, neurodivergent in any way. It's just a random person pretending to have an extreme disability. To prepare, Maddie studied documentaries about autism and watched YouTube videos by parents who recorded their child's episodes. I'm sure I don't have to say it, but this is what we refer to in the industry as cringe. What's the best way to learn about a community that you're not a part of? Literally just talk to them, bruh. You don't have to treat it like an art project. Maddie goes on to say, what I realized during this film is that everyone on the spectrum is different. Everyone is unique and beautiful in their own way. I guess, Maddie. Obviously, people started calling Sia out because they were just kind of not a fan of this whole thing. Sia deleted her Twitter. So unfortunately, I can only really show you article recaps of what happened, but don't worry. They all hear. It's a mighty shame that someone with such a colossal platform is using it to exclude disabled and neurodiverse actors from their own narratives. I've been a longtime fan of your work, so this is really disappointing. So she said, I cast 13 neuroatypical people, 3 trans folk, and not as effing prostitutes or drug addicts, but as doctors, singers, and nurses, she wrote. Effing sad, nobody's even seen the dang movie. My heart has always been in the right place. I'm sorry, do you expect me to believe that doctors, nurses, and singers are somehow more important or better than sex workers or addicts? This is totally unacceptable, and there are no excuses. Tweeted one user, you should know better than to allow able-bodied and neurotypical people to represent the disabled community. It's incredibly offensive, as is the infantilization of the character. Sickened and not even captioned, don't release this. Imagine releasing something targeted towards representing people with disabilities, but not doing the bare minimum of making sure that it's accessible. Grr, she tweeted at one point, F-ity F, why don't you watch my film before you judge it? Fury. All that was really happening was people were upset and rightfully calling you out over your movie. The exchanges only heated up though when Sia cited Autism Speaks as a group that stood behind her film, only to face feedback that many with autism consider that organization to be the enemy. Sia said Autism Speaks came on board long after the film was finished. 4 years, in fact. I had no idea it was such a polarizing group. Literally, it's not like it's hidden knowledge that Autism Speaks is bad. Look at these things that come up. Autism Speaks eugenics, Autism Speaks problems. They're not a good organization. Had she talked to like 3 or 4 autistic people, we'd have told her Autism Speaks is ableist and wants us fixed or dead. Fun fact, autism is not something that needs to be cured. We don't need to make people better by erasing their disabilities. At the height of the online tension, someone said, several autistic actors, myself included, we all said we could have acted in it on short notice. Zero effort was made to include anyone who is actually autistic. And then Sia's response was, maybe you're just a bad actor. This person literally just said, you're making excuses, literally not acknowledging the problem, making any effort to listen to autistic people. I've never referred to the primary character as disabled. Special abilities is what I've always said. First of all, she said that she did years and years of research, and then she went ahead and called people with disabilities special. She said, forget the research that I've supposedly done. What if I was just actually ableist? Sia being ableist AF while claiming she meant well is some serious abled savior BS. Once the film finally came out, they discovered things that were in the film that were even worse than what was happening in the trailer. In this review, she also has no chemistry with Leslie Odom Jr., who plays a kind immigrant from Ghana named Abo, who selflessly helps music and utters upbeat African wisdoms. The Hamilton actor is stuck with some of the film's most controversial sections. They had Leslie Odom Jr. playing the magical Negro, and it hurts my soul. He is too talented, amazing, and jaw-dropping to be doing this. Using a widely debated method called restraint, he attempts to calm music down during an outburst by hurling himself on top of her. I'm going to crush you now and make you feel safe, he says. You're not hurting her, replies a panicked Kazoo. No, I am crushing her with my love. As an autistic person, I'm very disappointed in Sia. There are scenes in this movie of restraint, something that is very traumatic to a lot of autistic people. Do better. Nothing about us without us. After it was revealed that the film included scenes of restraint, which is, as people pointed out, very traumatic and should not be advocated for as some sort of positive method of talking to or interacting with people with autism, this is how Sia reacted. Sia adds warning label to music movie, apologizes to autism community on heels of Golden Globe nominations. I love how she apologizes once she's up for an award and not while the people are actually calling her out and pointing out how ableist it was. In this description of the scene, it literally says right here, I'm crushing her with my love. How is this not condoning restraint on autistic people? I feel like Sia did condone it, and then once she got informed that this was bad, she was like, oh, oops, let me just pretend this was not condoning it. I want to go through this thread right here. This is from the Autistic Hats. I'm watching Sia's movie in order to write a detailed and chronological review so that nobody else watches it out of curiosity. I just want the public to see a few things that speak for themselves, starting with this image. Oh gosh. I'm gonna be honest, this physically makes me cringe. Shout out this account for putting together this thread, but they literally didn't even have to go further than this. The next thing I want the general public to see is this clip from the opening scene. It has strobing lights, overwhelming visuals, and caricature of autistic mannerisms. Here's a still shot of Maddie Ziegler's face at the beginning of that opening scene. This performance is a caricature of autistic body language. It's unsettling and insincere, and it is deeply reminiscent of the exaggerated mannerisms non-autistic people often employ when bullying autistic and developmentally disabled people for the ways we move. The fact that Ziegler is not autistic, and the fact that her performance is so heavily exaggerated, turns the entire movie into one long display of mockery. According to this petition, designed to get people to stop the film from releasing, this film will not have a major impact on history. Canceling it will express that intolerance to neurodivergence is unacceptable in today's society. Sia and her associates have additional avenues for funds. They will survive even if no money is made from this film. They're not asking for Sia to be canceled. Spinning this as a cancel culture debate is ridiculous. Like I said, Sia's Twitter is gone. She hasn't given out any sort of final response. We should remember, like, these aren't like simple mistakes. You don't not know what you're doing. I think Sia's intentions, despite her claiming that they're awesome, don't matter when the impact is so visible. If there's anything we can learn from this situation, I guess it's that if you're planning on making a film like this, you better be ready to face the music. Anyway, I'll be here all week, folks, at 2 p.m. Central Time. If it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that means I'm uploading a new video here. If it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, that means I'm going live over on Twitch. So basically what I'm saying is I'll see you tomorrow, unless of course tomorrow is Sunday, in which case just watch this video again. Okay, bye. So a lot of you noticed this hanging out in the background of my recent videos. Yes, my U2s is officially dropping on February 28th. I designed it myself. obviously, and purchasing it supports me directly, but it is limited edition, so once it's sold out, that's it. However, we are doing a giveaway where you can get one of these for free. Just click the link in the description, follow the steps, and one of these could be your very own. I would enter, but I mean, I already look like this. Good luck.